when we further discuss.
Again, the question was, why was the leaf pickup canceled? The leaf pickup was never canceled. It was modified. I think the benefits of the current program far outweigh some of the negatives that people continue to bring up. As has already been mentioned, the city never came and raked your leaves in your yard. We still had to rake them down to the curb. There are many more pickups now. The school has donated the students to get their community service credits to come out and help rake and put the leaves into containers. And another thing that hasn't been mentioned, but I think there are people out here in the audience that have family members or relatives that have had some people benefit from the program last year. I know that a lot of the landscaping or the land maintenance services were able to go out and generate income from picking up the leaves, and in turn we're able to pay people and keep people on longer into the season and pay them at a job to pick up the leaves. So I think, again, the positives far outweigh the negatives, and if this is an issue that continues to be heated, then we need to look at it again and maybe come up with another modification.
I believe the leaf pickup is such a hot topic because people perceive it as having a service taken away from them that they were currently paying for. A lot of people say, well, I was already paying to have my yard waste picked up anyways. So to tell me to put it back out on the curb for 16 weeks, I was doing that already, and you were picking my leaves up. As cost savings with the reduced revenue, I think there wasn't too much they could do, but I do believe that if it's that big an issue, it should be relooked at, and I know there are people in the community that would offer their time to, see if they could fix the old machine to save money, or I know there's people probably that have ideas of where we could get a new machine for a cheaper cost than what's been quoted in the paper. So, we would look forward to having people come and give us those ideas.
From Mrs. Thornhill. What do you feel is your primary role as a council member?
My primary role as a council member is to be an excellent steward of your money. And the only way that we can do that is by concentrating on economic development. If you want streets and curbs and sidewalks and a leaf machine and all these other amenities, we need to concentrate, I need to concentrate with our city manager on especially the northern parcel of the Conagra property that was given to us by the state of Ohio. That's our ticket.
I feel my primary role is to have economic development and expand the tax dollar that way, because I don't believe anyone wants to vote for any more tax levies. I feel also community development is enriching the community with planning, zoning, and parks and recreation, which we need along with the economic development. And I'm trying to be a good steward with the money that we have and make the most with what we got.
I feel that my main responsibility is to represent the people. And this always brings up a crux that I have, that, we're supposed to have, and we do have, a representative democracy, where we represent the people. And always, how many a handful of people come to the council meetings and whatever, and a lot of people don't voice their opinion. So I just feel that that's our job, is to represent the people. And the hardest thing to do sometimes is when we have to go vote or decide on something, and we really don't know what the public wants. We should have more input, I hope, in this representative democracy, because otherwise we're not doing what we should be doing, representing the people.
Philosophically, I believe my role is to bring to decision-making the will of the people. Technically, our job is to provide policy, direction, and budget. The only way to do that efficiently, effectively, and transparently is to come up with a strategic plan. Goals, objectives that can be measured, a plan that is balanced for the entire community, both Binghamton community and business community.
I believe our role is probably, the most important thing is economic development. We do need revenue, but we should be very open, we should be very acceptable to the people so that I'm sure there's times council has an issue and they're really not sure on how people feel. Only because the people, I mean, it's a two-way street here. You got to tell council too what you want. If you got a gripe, then you have to tell them. Otherwise, they're not going to know. They won't be able to fix them. They don't know that's broken. So I believe in openness.
Our role as council is to establish what the course is and then have a forum where we can keep the focus on what the target is and therefore set some policies, set some decision-making, set some goals to allow the city manager to lead the community. That is the basic principles of having a multi-staffed team where our city manager is the CEO and that council is there to provide the leadership and direction, allow that CEO to pull the trigger, whatever, execute decisions based on what we understand are the priorities of the community.
I think as a council, we need to be professional, we need to be positive, and we need to be prepared. And those three words in no certain order. And I think with those three attributes, you will have a disciplined and efficient management of the city.
I think as a councilman, we need to set the policy that's going to best suit the taxpayers, give leadership to the city manager, give him clear directives of what we feel needs to be done. And I think we need to be community leaders and show the taxpayers that we can work together through tough situations and just get things done.
According to our city charter, there's a very clear line between the function of the council and the function of the administration. City council is a policy-making body. We make the policy, the administration carries it out. They may not always do it the way we think they should, but that's our job, is to set the policy, not to tell them how to do it. I would, as a council member myself, I like to approach things with an open mind. I like to take a broad view of the situation, and I don't think there's anything more important than knowing your facts and doing the preparation necessary to seriously consider an issue.
We are almost out of time. And before we get to the closing remarks, I would like to once again thank the Huron Chamber of Commerce and the Huron Public Library for sponsoring this event. I'd especially like to thank the Huron City Schools for hosting the event and allowing us the use of their facility. I'm also to remind you that this forum will be broadcast on Buckeye Cable Public Access. It will be streamed on the Sandusky Register website, and you will also be able to access the forum through youtube.com. So please tell your neighbors who aren't here that the forum is accessible through these venues. Now I'd like to turn to the closing remarks. Candidates will have 1 minute to make final remarks, and we'll begin with Mrs. Watson.